For over 2 decades now, Kennywood's Phantom Fright Nights has entertained and terrified millions. Officially opened in 2002, Phantom Fright Nights was a huge expansion to the park's operating season, and just like other parks around the country that started similar events, Phantom Fright Nights was a smash hit. The first year of Phantom Fright Nights started out much like the first season of Kennywood's Holiday Lights did in 2011. A small section of the park was open with limited operation and, of course, haunted house attractions. Just like every other amusement park's Halloween event, they change it up over the years, and Phantom Fright Nights were no different. And as the making of this video in 2021, the new rebranded Phantom Fall Fest saw the end of one of the last original haunts, Mortem Manor. Although Kennyville Cemetery opened in 2002, the haunt layout has changed from time to time over the years. But since then, Mortem Manor has taken over the cafe every October since 2002. Now that Fall Fest is an all-day event, the Parkside Cafe that housed Mortem Manor is now open for food and beverage services. As for the spirits of Mortem Manor, they all got kicked to the curb. Literally. They have a Scarezone right outside the caf called Mortem Manor Estate Sale. I heard this is a one and done Scarezone this year, so I managed to get some footage of it before it's done. Link in the description below. But aside from losing another original haunt from 2002, how many other haunts have come and gone over the years? Here is a list of as many as I could find, and I really mean that. If you want to find info or photos of past Kennywood rides, that's easy. With books and the internet, they're all over the place. But if you want to find info and photos about past haunts, now that is difficult. Probably because you're not allowed to video or take pictures inside the haunts, making them easier to get lost in time. You'll see what I mean. If there's anything that you know that I missed, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below. We're all here to have fun and to learn together. Also, towards the end, I will mention a few scare zones that have come and gone, as well as some that have relocated in the past years. With that, let's dive right in. Here is Haunts of the Past. Number 1. Before the vampires moved in as what we know today as Villa of the Vampires, Creeper's Crypt was the first indoor haunt that greeted guests in 2002 during the very first Phantom Fright Nights. Pictured here we can see a very similar facade, and yep, that's the same facade that's used today for Dark Shadows. It's pretty cool that even though these haunts are long gone, parts and pieces of them are still used today, and you would never really know it. Creeper's Crypt ran from 2002 to 2004, when it was replaced by a new haunt in 2005, Villa of the Vampires, which is still there today, but recently got a fresh new facade for 2021. Coming in at number 2, we have TerrorVision in 3D, located in Pavilion 23. Pavilion 23 has been home to many different haunts over the years, before officially converting into the End Zone Cafe in 2019. TerrorVision opened as a Fright Night original in 2002. It was created by none other than Blacklight Attractions, the same company that would later be hired by Kennywood again to retheme the Old Mill into Garfield's Nightmare, and then the Gold Rusher into Ghostwood Estate. Much like Garfield's Nightmare, TerrorVision in 3D was a 3D blacklight attraction infested by clowns. This haunt looked amazing, and I think it would be awesome if a new version of TerrorVision returned at some point in the future. It seems like this haunt was pretty impressive and very popular for those who remember it. Number 3. Captain Scully's Course in 3D. Located in Pavilion 23 again, TerrorVision had its final freak show in 2006 and was later replaced with another 3D blacklight haunt, Captain Scully's Course in 3D. Not really sure what the storyline was for this one, but there were pirates, and it was in 3D. It wasn't at the park for long, as it had its last season in 2010, when it was replaced by Biofear in 2011. But this wouldn't be the last we've seen of Captain Scully in this video. Number 4. Biofear, located in yet again Pavilion 23. Biofear debuted in 2011 as the first new haunt since Voodoo Bayou in 2008. Biofear was a disease control center that was experiencing a massive breakout, and that breakout was turning everyone into, you guessed it, zombies.
Welcome to Biotech Genetics Laboratories. I am Dr. Patrick Conley. First of all, I want to thank you all for volunteering. This is not your ordinary laboratory.
But when 2018 came along, and Logjammer was gone, and the future End Zone Cafe plans for Pavilion 23 came into play, everyone had a feeling that Biofear would be Pavilion 23's final haunt. In spring 2019, due to the loss of many pavilions to make way for Steelers country, Kennywood built a brand new pavilion just behind the Aero 360, and come fall, Biofear was technically replaced by Shady Grove Memorial Hospital. If you go through today, Shady Grove seems very similar to Biofear, mostly because a lot of Biofear's props and sound effects were reused for Shady Grove. So if you were a fan of Biofear, you'll probably like Shady Grove as well. Number 5. Haunted Ark, located in Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark has had a crazy history when it comes to Phantom Fright Nights. A few seasons up until 2010, the Haunted Ark had Noah's Ark you knew and loved turned completely upside down. And if you thought the summertime version of Noah's Ark was creepy, this wasn't the haunt for you. I mean, look at this Noah costume. That is supposed to be Noah. Apparently there was a storyline that the animals of Noah's Ark were out to get you, and all the scare actors were dressed as certain animals. It seems like one of the most bizarre ones, but with a cool concept. In 2011, guess who? Captain Scully moved in after being kicked out of Pavilion 23 and became Captain Scully's Ark. The story behind this one?
Welcome to Noah's Ark. Captain Scully's Ark. Captain Scully made Noah and all animals walk like, beware, you may be next.
Added to that a few years later was an upcharge attraction that was offered on select nights known as Ark in the Dark, where you and a partner had to venture through Noah's Ark in complete darkness, minus the sections where you had to walk down the stairs, thankfully. As of today for Phantom Fall Fest, Noah's Ark is listed as a daytime only attraction, meaning it's the same friendly version we know from the regular season, but once 6 o'clock comes around, it turns into Ark in the Dark. But hey, with Phantom Fall Fest, you gotta accommodate with the family somehow, but maybe one day that creepy Noah will make his return. Number 6, Fort Despair, located behind Kittyland. Another haunt that is super difficult to get any information on is Fort Despair. Themed to the French and Indian War, which plays into the park's history with the Battle of the Monongahela. Kind of a bizarre theme for a haunted house, but an interesting one for sure. This haunt especially is another attraction that is very difficult to get any footage or pictures of. But in the end, that's why I made this video. Sometimes, some really cool attractions get lost in time, never to be seen again. And I bet some probably never even knew that these haunts existed. We all know of many of Kennywood's past rides and attractions from the regular summer season, but with the haunts, it doesn't help that you are not allowed to film or take pictures inside any of the houses. This is usually the same rule at any park's Halloween event, so it's understandable that these haunts can easily get lost without a trace. A few honorable mentions I have are some past scare zones that either got changed around or closed for good. Death Valley. This new for 2007 haunted ghost town from the Wild West first haunted the midway leading to the officially closed Gold Rusher dark ride, which later became Ghostwood Estate. And following that, Death Valley stayed in the same location for years. That is until 2018, when Thomastown moved in right next door. Instead of having this ghost town set up right outside the entrance to Thomas, Death Valley moved 2 midways over on the other side of Parkside Cafe. But then in 2020, most of Death Valley's props moved into their new home at the front of the park, as Kennywood rethemed Garfield's Nightmare back into a new version of the classic old mill, which made sense since some of those props alone dated back way before Fright Nights even began, like the famous coyotes from the Gold Rusher scene. A few years after that, they became the coyotes of Death Valley, and now for the next generation, they're the coyotes in the old mill. As of 2021, Phantom Fall Fest welcomed the new Hellbilly Hollow in Lost Kennywood, which has some similarities to the late Death Valley Scarezone. Clown Alley in Lost Kennywood. Gory Park wasn't always the only scare zone in Lost Kennywood. After the Terrorvision days were over, and before Fear Fest began, Clown Alley was your go-to scary clown attraction. Gory Park. This popular scare zone took over most of Lost Kennywood from 2004 to 2019. This was always one of my favorites. A city gone bad with creepy characters roaming the streets at night, giant rats, and trash everywhere in the trees and on the ground. Gory Park was really unlike anything else. If you visited Gory Park any season up to 2010, the same soundtrack used in The Exterminator would always be blaring throughout Lost Kennywood, which always added so much more to it. And lastly, we have Zombie Fort. Yeah, I have no information on this one whatsoever, but apparently it was a maze during the 2003 season. If anyone has any information at all about this one, please leave a comment down below. I'm sure we'll all love to learn more about it. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. Did you experience any of these haunts in the past? Which one was your favorite and which one do you miss? Was there any info that I happened to miss? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. I'm full of useless knowledge about amusement parks that I want to make useful on this channel, so stay tuned for that. Let's all learn something new together and let's have a good time. This was Haunts of the Past.